We've got one of the best players in college football, the incumbent Heisman Trophy winner, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, Bryce Young, quarterback at Alabama. Bryce, what's going on, bud? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Listen, I never get to do your games, so this has been a treat this week, just watching you on on film and breaking you down. I was able to do it a little bit last year, in preparation for some of your postseason games. But I got to tell you, you made a throw last week early in the game. It was like the third snap of the game against Utah State, and you kind of run into your left, and you stopped and you sidearmed the ball. I don't even remember who you hit, but he's running the opposite direction. You threw tight window. I watched it 10 times, man. I was just like, what? What are we doing right now? That was I just got to ask you, like, where did you get that ability to change angles, change platforms, and throw the ball with that amount of talent?
It's definitely something that I worked on and developed over time. I have some great quarterback coaches back home. Taylor Kelly, Adam Dato, John Beck. They've been guys I've worked with from the eighth grade on, and they've really they really helped me develop as a passer, as a thrower, being able to throw from different platforms, different arm angles. That stuff like that. It's stuff that I've gotten a lot better at recently over time, but it's definitely something that I worked on and developed, and still feel like I have a lot of work to do.
So it's interesting because when you play multiple years in college football, because of the fast change of cycle of players, you're going to have different wide receivers, right? And generally, and you're a case study in that this year. You lose Jamison Williams, you lose John Mechie. I mean, that's 175 catches and 2,700 yards and 23 touchdowns from a year ago. I mean, those guys were dynamic. Would you take me into your relationship and the feeling that you have with your current wide receiver core and how you feel like that's going here early in the season?
Yeah, with our current wide receiver core, obviously there's some new faces. There's guys that are stepping up into new roles that they haven't been in the past. You have a freshman who's been playing a lot. Obviously we have transfer guys. So, I think really what it is, when you come to the program, it's about buying in and assimilating to the culture, and then throughout the off season, getting as much reps and work together as we can, inside the building during practice, outside the building, however, whether it's back home or, it's just getting extra reps in after the practice. So, for me, it's just about trying to get reps, trying to get chemistry down, us having an open line of communication, me trying to communicate, what I want, what I expect, same thing with them, how they like the ball thrown, what they're thinking on these routes and these reads. So, I think the biggest thing when, we're having people step up and playing different roles is making sure that we're communicating. And that was a big, point of emphasis during the off season. And now we've had so many reps under our belt through practice, and, we have one game under our belt now, and I just continue to feel more comfortable, and we keep building together day in and day out.
Well, it'll be full display Saturday there in Texas. Can't wait to get there. You talked about the culture of the program and how you have to come in and assimilate to the culture. Earlier this week on my podcast, I talked about the fact that being in Nick Saban's program is like having a reckoning every single day. It doesn't matter what day it is. There is a reckoning. I've had it described to me by several coaches that have coached with Coach Saban. You talk about assimilating to the culture. Can you explain what the day-to-day pressure is like at Alabama to live up to the standard, that reckoning that Coach Saban has?
Yeah, it's definitely something that's constant. We understand that, there's so much greatness here. Our standard is so high, and it's a day in and day out process. You can't be satisfied with success. You can't feel entitled to it. That's something that coach tells us and talks to us about all the time. For us, accomplishing our goals isn't something that we can do over one game or over a span of a week. It's something that's every single day, day in and day out. And not every day is going to be perfect. But as long as you're working and trying to give it your all, and live up to that standard every single day, some days maybe you don't feel like you reached it. Some days you feel like you fall short, but you can't ever give up on that. It's making sure that we're not satisfied, we're not happy, and even when we do accomplish our goal, short term, we have to understand that there's still that Monday at practice, that next day, whatever it may be. So obviously it's something that's a little intense being here, but I knew that coming here is what I signed up for. It pushes me personally to be a lot better. It pushes us as a team to be a better unit. So I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Well, and that's one of the things I talked about is the fact that it takes a unique person to want to be there and to be in that environment. That's part of the reason why you guys have been so good for so long. Part of being a great quarterback is the ability to manipulate the pocket, think on your feet, adjust quickly. You do it as good as anybody out there. Like I said earlier, it's been amazing watching you on film, and I have more respect for you by the day every time that I watch it. But I will say this, your ability to flip the switch from the celebration of the finger roll to the like calm dapping up Coach Saban on the sideline, that was like next level, man. And I got to tell you, that was a smooth dap you and Saban had, right? Coach Saban, I'm sorry, I don't want to just throw out last names. That was smooth, man. I mean, it looked like you guys had worked on that.
Not coach is smooth like that. You feel me? That's him. But yeah, I mean, it was funny that the camera caught it because obviously it's celebrating with your teammates and we had just scored, so we celebrate for the time being, and then actually coach, I messed up earlier in the drive. I made a mistake. And that was on me. I didn't handle the operation correctly, and I could tell from coach's body language and everything that he was ready to tell me about it. So right when I saw him, which was like right in midair, I realized like, all right, well, I probably should dial this back because I already know what I'm gonna hear it about. But we talked about it. He told me what I had to do on that, and he was completely right. So it was a quick turnaround from being in the end zone to a learning experience.
That's amazing. By the way, if people are asking me like, well, what's a reckoning? That's a reckoning. When you're trying to celebrate a touchdown, but he's bringing up something that happened during the drive that you messed up in operation, and the fact that you knew midair, you're giving the finger roll celebration, you're like, oh, he's about to get me for that operations error, man. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.